What's going on, good people? It's your boy Big Jack, um, coming at you with episode 1.2 of the Bouncer Chronicles. When I left off, I was talking about, doing in security for my cousin, the Adderfield Click. But the actual first club I worked at in Georgia it was in Decatur, um, and I don't remember the name of it, but it sat on the corner of Turner Hill Road and Covington Highway, where the Quick Trip is now. Um, and um, the guy who had the contract was the guy I was working with on my regular job. So he wanted my whole crew that was working on that site to go work because he knew we can get there. So we was working there for about a month, and the owner, who's the sheriff for Rockdale County, he came to us and was like, "Yeah, I like how y'all guys work together. We have a fight, y'all execute, get them out quick, calm them down. Just y'all working real good. I want to give y'all a raise, and I'm gonna tell the guy to bump y'all up to 25 an hour." And we looked at him like, "What? We ain't even getting nowhere near that." So we told him how much he was giving us, and he was like, "What?" He was like, "Oh no." Mm-mm. So he told the guy he was gonna get rid of the contract, but wanted us to still work for him. So that's what we did. And we did that for about a month and a half, and then he told us he was like, I'm only gonna be open for another 2 months. Um, I'm selling the property. So he sold the property, and so I didn't work for at a club for a good little bit, maybe about 2 3 months. And then one night, some friends were in town. They was like, "Hey, y'all stay right around the corner from the bounce. Let's go to the bounce." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." So we go to the bounce. I'm in there looking around, people, security. Just I'm bobbing my head, but I'm not like full out dancing. So I noticed the security guy, and I went up to him, and just start talking to him. I was like, "Hey, man, y'all hiring?" He was like, "Yeah, man, we always hiring, man. We always need some good people." I'm like, "Oh, okay." So, well, he was like, "Talk to Roscoe." So we got ready to leave. I saw Roscoe, and Roscoe, I asked him, I said, "Hey, y'all hiring?" He said, you got club experience?" I told him the club I worked at. I was like, "Yeah, but I got background in military and security." And he was like, "Oh, okay." He's like, "Come Tuesday, um, and fill out the application, and we'll do an interview." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." Now I had to work on Tuesday, so when I went before work, so I had on my full uniform, gun belt, vest, everything, the whole nine. And so he was like, "Oh, okay." He was like, "You certified?" I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "You got your blue card?" Gave it to him, and he gave me the uniform. That it wasn't no interview, no nothing. It was his uniform. And so um, I come to work, that Friday, and I'm expecting to be working in the club because he told me, he said, "Yeah, wear this shirt, black BDUs, make sure you wear your gun belt, all that." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So when I get there, I'm thinking I'm gonna be working on the inside of the club. He's like, "Nah." He's like, "Man, you got handcuffs and asbatons and pepper spray and guns." He's like, "You outside." I'm like, "Okay." I'm like, "All right, cool." So my first day, they put me at the back gate, and uh, the supervisor, his name was Nuke. He he didn't work there too much longer after I got there. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. He left. But they put me at the back gate, and it was kind of boring. He told me, he was like, "Hey, whenever a car come up, I'm gonna call you on the radio. Just let me. I'm gonna tell you what color, what kind of car it is, and you just open the gate, the exit gate, and let them in." I'm like, "Okay, cool." So no problem. Did that a couple times. Halfway through the night, I hear on the radio, valet to back gate security, and I'm like, this back gate security, go ahead. He was like, hey, there's a guy that just stole a radio out of a car, and he's walking your way. He got on a jean jacket. So I turn around and look, and I see the guy coming towards me. So now I'm hearing chatter on the radio. Roscoe's like, who's that at the back gate? They was like, Jackson's at the back gate. They was like, which Jackson? The big one. That's how I got Big Jack. Because there was two of us, and I was the bigger one. And uh, he was like, y'all hurry up and get down there. Now, I feel like he was trying me. Just because I'm new here don't mean I'm new to security. Like, this is not my first day doing security, sir. So I looked at the dude, and he was walking towards me. I was like, hey man, what's good, man? What's up with you? And he was like, hey man. As soon as he said, I slammed it. Boom. So they had about 4 or 5 APD officers working out there too. So by the time the security and APD got down there where I was, the guy was on the ground in handcuffs, and I had the radio in my hand, like. And so Roscoe got in there. He looked at me. He said, "This is gonna be fun." So um, that was my beginning at the bounce. Um, one other incident at the bounce. I had to throw Trick Daddy out the club. What happened was, he had came to the club, and usually, as y'all know, Lil Jon was the DJ at the club. Him and Emperor Cersei and DJ Will, they was, the DJs. So whenever celebrity come, they would play their music, the standard procedure. So they had played, they had a Trick Daddy set. They had played his songs, and he was he was alright. He was in the VIP. He had a couple Moet bottles, just chilling. So he uh he got mad that uh the crowd like went crazy when they played Pastor Troy music. It's Pastor Troy. You in Atlanta? Come on, man. And so he got mad and threw the Moet bottle across the club. It hit the wall, and I'm outside, but I'm hearing the chat on the radio like, "Hey, somebody just threw a Moet bottle. It had to come from the VIP. Who in the VIP? The only person in the VIP with bottles is Trick Daddy." And they was like, "Get over there, cause he got another one." So they was calling outside security come to the VIP exit door. So I'm right there by valet. So I go, I walk around. By this time, oh, let me back up. By this time, I became the supervisor for outside. So I wasn't at a post. I was just roaming around, getting to it. So I was like, yeah, I'm already at the door. So they opened the door, and they got to him just in time because he was about to throw another one. So when the door opened, I saw him pick up the bottle. I grabbed his hand, grabbed him out of the back of his collar, and pulled him out the club. I was like, bro, you gotta go. You gotta go. He was like, man, that's bullshit, man. That's bullshit. I'm like, bro, you in Atlanta? Come on, man. Come on, man. It only makes sense. And I looked at him dead in the face. I said, man, a trick. I said, bro, if Pastor Troy was down there in Miami, and they played his song, and they played your stuff, and people went crazy, he wouldn't be mad about that. He know where he at. So, um, yeah, I had to put him slap out. But and I met some interesting people working, at the bounce. I met Ti before he was Ti. Um, I knew what they called him Bowen Holmes Carlos because I guess it was a bankhead Carlos. Um, just I was working at the bounce when the High Boys was on that big tour. Nelly and the St. Lunatics was on their tour. A-Ball and MJG had just signed a Bad Boy. Yeah, it was just, A lot of stuff going on. Jada Kiss came through. Um, so they had like a concert series every Saturday. So it was a southern. It was called a Southern Concert Series, and they was having different people come through or whatever. But one of the most interesting people I met was, we used to call him Beast, and Beast ended up becoming Shad Gaspar from WWE Crime Time, and and how it happened was Pastor Troy was in the club. He had his belt on, and so they was talking about it at the end of the night because he was like, "Man, I wish I wish I could have held his belt, man." You know what I'm saying? So I was like, "Bro, I got one of them at home." He was like, "For real?" I was like, "Yeah, like the same belt." I'm like, "Yeah, I got the same exact belt. I still got it. I'll show it to you in a second." And yes, it has my name on it, but at the time it didn't. It had Sting on it. So he um he's like, "Bring it tomorrow. Bring it tomorrow." He was like, "You ain't got it. You ain't got it." So we the next day we went, club. At the end of the night, we all inside, just chilling. And he was like, "Where the belt at?" So I had it in the little carrying case I had it in. I brought it out, gave it to him. This man went to the picture man and took about 20 pictures. He was just taking pictures with the belt. It was so hilarious. So he was like, "You in the wrestling like that?" I'm like, "Yeah, man. I tried to go to the power plant when it was down at the CNN Center." He's like, so he got a piece of paper and wrote down the address. He was like, "Meet me here Tuesday at 6 o'clock." And I'm looking at that. I'm like, okay. So it was address on Fulton Industrial to a wrestling gym that he was part of. And I joined the wrestling gym for about 6 months. I was gonna be a professional wrestler. Um, just learning how to take bumps, how to properly punch somebody, make it look real. Just all the basic stuff. But I couldn't finish. I hurt my knee, um, and it was expensive. It was about $700 for the year. Um, so, but with that, you get all the training. You get the opportunity to go do matches and get paid for it, stuff like that. So, um, but yeah, the bounce was one of my favorites. Um, I was in the Ludacris and Mystical video. I was supposed to be in the security guy that got ran over, but I had to work. It was on a regular my one of my regular work days, so I had to come when I came when I got off work. And in the video, you can see like the back of my head in the line when Mystical is driving the truck up. And inside one of the club scenes, you can like see the back of my head. Um, and but yeah, I learned a lot about inside and outside security. Um, Working at the bounce. One good thing they did with their security, we would have classes like, don't start a fight, but end it. Don't get into a fight. So because he was showing us stuff about people getting sued. Um, there's one guy like punched a guy and broke his orbital bone, and I just it was he lost sight in the eye, and he won like $1 million. Uh, just how to be real bouncers and not just out there fighting. So, but with that, um, it took me a long way because from that point on, any security job or bouncer or bodyguard work I did, I was the lead on it because I just combined all of it, working at the club, being in the military, law enforcement, just combined them all. Um, but yeah, we had some crazy stuff going on at the bounce. Um, they used to have different uh, nights at the club, and one of the wildest ones was lingerie night. and these women was coming. They wasn't coming in sleepwear. They were coming in real lingerie. Like, don't leave nothing to the imagination. Um, but yeah, we had a good time at the Bounce. I just, I hate when it closed. Towards the end, Pastor Troy had, bought it and changed the name to the Palladium, but you know, by then I had left. I was, heavy in my law enforcement, working for Atlanta Housing Authority and stuff. So, um, but yeah, um, my next episode is gonna be one of the crazy ones. What I'm gonna do is get together with a lot of the guys I used to work with. The next episode is the Club Miami episode, and there's a lot of people that I want to be on that episode, but I'm gonna do the talking first, like this in this setting, and then we're gonna get together and actually film it, with the people and stuff. But one of the things I want to talk about with the Club Miami, this is a teaser for y'all to come back next time. I almost got in a fight with Roddy White one night. I'm gonna tell you about it on the next episode. Peace.